Hey everybody, it's Randy with Live, Laugh, Love to Roam, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do some of our roaming in. When we traded our fifth wheel for a motorhome, no longer needed the Ram 2500 that we had, so sold it, and we have purchased this as for my driver. Needed something a little better fuel economy than the Ram had, but still needed something with some utility to it. And we don't really have a lot of use for a pickup, so decided to get a smaller SUV for the fuel mileage, but still some economy. And what you're looking at here is the 2023 Chevy Trailblazer RS package. And RS is Rally Sport, which, what does that give you? Just basically it's trim and decoration. But you can see, compared to maybe a LS or LT model, it's got a little more aggressive styling in the front. And what I liked about the style is the blacked out Chevy emblem. The RS badge looks pretty cool. And then you got this black chrome material here. It looks really sharp. And they had this one. I jumped on it because this was the color I wanted, the black with the accented red top, and it also has the roof rails. And we'll just take a quick look on the outside, and I'll do a little review. I'm not typically doing car reviews, though I am a car lover and a car aficionado. One of the things you'll notice with the RS is the dual exhaust, and those are actually functional exhaust tips, though the exhaust it's not that big. You go back in there a little bit and you find the smaller exhaust. It's got a little bit of a simulated rear diffuser, and again you got the blacked out Chevy emblem on the back. Got your third brake light, and got LED tail lights. And I like body styling on this. It looks like a miniaturized Blazer, which I did like the style of the Blazer. The black looks really good. I have noticed in the couple of days I've had it that it does show dirt, but that's typically how black is. All right, back here to the front, you got these LED daytime running lights with the halogen turn signals in there with it, and then below that you got halogen headlights. Now we're going to look under the hood. What powers this RS? Well, it is a 1.3 liter 3-cylinder. That's right, 3-cylinder engine. That was one of my biggest concerns when I was looking at these. Our daughter got one last year, and she likes it real well. She didn't get the RS model. She just got a regular trim, but it's a very handsome vehicle, and I thought, hey, I'll consider one of those when I get ready to get one. And I was very leery of the 3-cylinder. I like fast cars. I like hot rods, and I really was torn about getting something more high performance or something more practical. And I always go back and forth. I'll get a sports car, and then I'll feel like I want something more practical than I trade, and I go back and forth. So as I'm getting older, I kind of like things that look sporty, but not necessarily don't have to be all that powerful. And this is not powerful, but it is peppy. I mean, it's 155 horsepower, like 175 pound-feet of torque. So actually around town, it'll scoot around pretty good, and take down the highway, it'll jump up, cruise 80 miles an hour, no problem. And then you will pass. I thought, well, I might have to gather speed to make a run on somebody to pass them, and it actually will jump up there. This is the front-wheel drive model, so it does have the CVT, or continuously variable transmission. I would have rather had the 9-speed that comes in the all-wheel drive version, but to be honest, in Oklahoma I have not been able to find an all-wheel drive. These things go so fast. When you go to a dealer, you pretty much have to take what they have, and when one came in at our local dealer that was the color scheme I wanted, I had to jump on it. And also, to be honest, I would have went front wheel drive anyway, because we do pull a tow dolly behind our motorhome, and so I do need a front wheel drive vehicle in order to be able to tow it without any problems on the tow dolly. All right, back to the back. Well, we popped the hood, so now let's pop the hatch and see what we got. This does not have a automatic open hatch, but as you see it, one hand, you basically just pop the button and it'll open by itself without much effort at all. I did kind of want the automatic opening hatch, but they did not offer that as a standalone item. To get that, you had to get the sun and hatch package, which included a panoramic sunroof, which I've never been one that used sunroofs. If it's sunny and you open it, or you pull the shade back on it and it's too hot, otherwise you got it closed. So not something I'm willing to pay more for. As far as room back here, for a compact SUV, it's not bad at all. And then you got the seats that just easily reach and pop down, which gives you more room. Would have to scoot that passenger seat its back quite a bit to get that lay flat, but that passenger seat will also fold down and lay flat so that you can get longer items in here. That was a big thing to me. I mean, once you lay that seat down, then your back seat's laying flat, and you get a good about 8 foot or so of room that you can lay something and close it up inside here. That's pretty cool. I think that'll be handy. I do like the kayak, so I thought, well, I can get my kayak in there. It's a 10-footer, so it would probably be hanging out the back a little bit, but with the roof rails, I can just put a rooftop kayak mount and have no problem hauling a kayak that way. Okay, now let's take a look at the back seat. Now, we don't very rarely ever have anybody ride with us in the back seat, whether it's in my wife's car or with me. But it's good if you do that they have some room, because anybody we would have is going to be adults. So I slip in here, and I am sitting behind me. I'm 5'9", and I have a lot of leg room. Could easily sit here comfortably. You can put my feet under the seat. I'm actually feel real comfortable, and honestly, I would not have any issue with riding this for a long trip. I have a lot of headroom as well. I've got a cap on, and I've got a good full width of my hand head clearance up here. And both seats, passenger and driver seat, have pockets behind them for storing things. I usually use that for storage because like I said, I don't really have very many people ever go with me. Seats are pretty comfortable, a little firm, but not hard, and have a nice cushion to them. Let's look here in the center. We have a fold down armrest, and nice and soft, pillowy, and a couple of cup holders there for your passengers. If you do have them, they can have them a nice drink. The interior here in the back, as you'll see in the front, is a leatherette material trimmed with trimming a cloth, so it gives it a nice quality feel without being too expensive. The back doors are hard plastic with kind of a soft armrest. Rest of the doors hard plastic. You got space there for somebody could put a drink. Pretty good size one. Coming to the back of the console, there is really nothing there. No vents, no connectivity, USB ports or anything like that. But again, I don't ever really have anybody back here on a long trips, so was not an issue for me to get something like that. And there you can kind of see the front from back here, the view. Let's jump up front and see what we see. Okay, we're inside the front, and you'll see a little similar design as the back, except here in this trim, it's kind of got that black chrome look like we found on the front. You got hard plastic up here with some soft touch material in the middle, textured with that nice red stitching. And then the armrest is softer touch. It's not hard plastic, but it's got a little give to it and feels pretty good, and I've had no issues resting my arm on it. Okay, just kind of a looking around. We'll see, we got red accents, looks nice around the air conditioner vents. That's part of the RS deal, along with the red stitching, like you'll see around this leather wrapped steering wheel. And it's got a flat bottom with some of the panel glossy black at the bottom. Shouldn't be too bad for fingerprints. You don't use that part too much. Nice texturing and good grip. Great hand feel to that steering wheel. There's your instrument paddle for driving. You got tach on the left, speedometer on the right, and then you got the little infotainment or information center in the middle that you can scroll through for different things. I typically leave it on speed. I've just gotten used to looking at a digital speedometer for so long that that's what I'm comfortable with. Up here on the dash, you got hard plastic, but don't know if you can really tell on here, but it's got some nice texturing to it, so it doesn't look too cheap. Then you got this same material that you have on the center of the door here in the middle, a textured leathery feel with some more of that nice red stitching, and then you got the red accents around the AC vent over there, and then the passenger door is the same. Storage in the doors, you got room for a bottle and a few other things that you might take with you. And as far as what you have on the steering wheel controls is you got heated steering wheel button. For some reason these are coming out without that working, and on the sticker it says heated steering wheel. They give you a credit for it and then say you get a retrofit for it later. So I assume at some point they'll come up with a notice to me to come in and get my heated steering wheel activated. Not that big a deal. If it's that cold outside, I'm usually wearing gloves anyway, and then it warms up in here fast enough. I've never really even thought about having heated steering before. And then you got your cruise control settings, and you got the setting for when you're approaching another vehicle. It will warn you, and actually, if you're going below 50 miles an hour, it'll actually brake for you if you're coming up on another vehicle. And kind of works like your adaptive cruise control, except this one doesn't have the adaptive cruise control. I never thought I've never really even thought about needing something like that, but it does come in handy when you're driving around town. If you kind of following somebody and you're not paying attention, if you're creeping up too close to them, it will warn you. It'll appear on the dash. It'll show a green car, and then it shows you're good. And if you get too close, a little close, it starts turning amber. And if you get too close, it turns red, and you start hearing a beep. And then up here is some red LED lights. They start flashing, and those are visible in the windshield, and it will get your attention for sure. And it also will watch for pedestrians, so you can go into an infotainment center and adjust if you want it to brake for you or not. I'd rather get a surprise brake than to hit somebody walking across the parking lot, so I have it turned on. All right, moving over to the infotainment center, you got a nice 7-inch touch screen, and very responsive as far as touch screens go and infotainments. This is as responsive as any I've ever had. It's only the 7-inch. You can get an 8-inch if you get the technology convenience package, that comes with some other features. But again, to get the one I wanted, I had to take pretty much what they had. I didn't really, these weren't things that were deal breakers for me, so not a big issue there. Now you do have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and it will work wirelessly, so you do not have to wire in to operate that. Another thing that would have came with the package that had the bigger screen would have been wireless charging, and that would have been down here. To be honest, I need the space more for junk I like to take with me, and I don't know if my phone, I got a flip phone that folds and I got a case on it, so that I'm not sure it would charge through a wireless charger anyway, so not a big deal. And if it does, if I'm on a long trip and the battery starts getting low, I don't have a problem with hooking it in. But I do like the wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Most of my trips locally are going to be 30 minutes to an hour long, so no issue with charging my phone, but I don't have to hook it up in order to get navigation and things like that. All right, here you got the shifter, and then you got the electric parking brake. I'd rather have a lever, but hey, it is what it is these days. And as you can see, 2 cup holders, and it's located where it's not really too much in the way, and you don't have to get plenty of room for it. This is the big 44-ounce cup in here, and it fits fine and no problems. I've seen the cars I had looked at, the cup holders were in front of the shifter and right there, and this cup would not have fit there. All right, we got, as far as controls here, we've got auto off. That's where when you stop at a stoplight or a stop sign, this thing will shut off on, and then when you let your foot off the brake or put your foot on the gas pedal, it will restart and go. If you're not used to that, you think your car's having problems when it's doing that, because it feels like you're got a miss. I mean, otherwise you don't really hear it. You just kind of feel it, that there's a little hesitation there. I'm not sure yet whether I like it or not. Maybe in some instances I do, but you can just hit that and that will turn it off, and you got to do it every time you get in and start it. So you'll remember to do it if you don't like it. Then we got the lane keep assist, where it's got a camera that watches the road and sees the lines, and if you start drifting, it's supposed to kind of nudge you back. I haven't really tried that out too much yet. Not really able to tell you how well that works. We got traction control off, and we got a sport button, and we got snow. The snow is kind of opposite of sport. What it does is makes your acceleration more progressive and will hopefully keep you from spinning out if you're on snow or ice. If you don't feel like you have good pedal control yourself. Sport mode, I've tried that. This is not a powerful vehicle, as I pointed out, 3-cylinder, 155 horse. About the only, and with a CVT transmission, about what I noticed the sport mode does is just makes it run around in a higher RPM. Didn't seem to be much more responsive. I mean, it's for what it is, it's peppy enough in regular mode. It does tighten the steering feel up a little bit. You don't really get a good road feel from it. You just feel that the steering is tighter. So kind of something that's, I guess, makes you feel like you got something everybody else has, but really there's not a lot of point to the sport button here that I've been able to find. Then we got this center console. Lifts that up, and then you have a tray inside that for storing readily accessible items, and then underneath that is a nice big deep storage for keeping things that you want to keep in there. It's pretty deep, so you can get a lot in there. Depending on what you want to keep in there, you could be in danger of burying something you might want to get to quickly. All right, now we got the glove box. As you can see, I already got kind of stuffed with some stuff that I carry, my cables. Got the manual and things like that in there. Doesn't lock, but just don't leave your vehicle unlocked, and that's not an issue. If somebody's able to break into your vehicle, a locked glove box is not going to stop them. And we do have this nice little cubby above the glove box. About the only thing I can think I'll use that for, throw some ink pen maybe in there, or a little notepad, and place for my wife to lay her phone when she's with me. Coming up here, you have your OnStar, and then your indicator of whether your passenger airbag's on or off, and then you got some inside light dome lights. They're not LED, but they're bright enough. And coming over here, you got the sun visor with a vanity mirror. No light on it. I think, again, that was something that came with another package. I'm not somebody who uses those a lot anyway, so I never notice it. But one good thing is you got sliding sun visor, so it get pretty good coverage for your side windows. So if the sun's on your left over here, you can open that, and does a good job of blocking that side sun out with good full coverage of the window. All right, that is a quick look and at my 2023 Chevy Trailblazer RS. If you like to see a driving video, I'm not a professional car reviewer, so trying to show you things while driving with a handheld camera, probably not the safest thing to do. I'll just say that as far as driving, the steering is very easy. It handles nice and nimble, and like I said, it's got plenty of pep. And as far as the CVT, it's really not that noticeable. It doesn't overwhelm you with fake shifting. Like I did not want that. You don't get the noticeable fake shifts. You watch the RPMs; they go into a range, and it pretty much will just hold that RPM range as you gain speed. So it makes that adjustment. So far, I have no issues. I will try to kind of do updates as time goes to let you know what I think. As so far right now, I really like it. It's comfortable. It drives well, gets good fuel mileage, and I look forward to it being my daily driver. All right, if you enjoyed that, or if you found this useful, please like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. We'll be doing some more road trips, exploring some little towns along the way. See you next time.